watching you. Yeah, bye.
I never imagined I'd witness this moment, but here we are. Allegedly, Anna Wintour and IMG are suing Chinese suppliers after they forced New York Fashion Week to shut down. Yes, shut down. The whole event, gone. The most iconic runway spectacle in America didn't just collapse. It was dismantled like a house of cards in a fierce storm. And I don't believe anyone in fashion has fully processed the consequences yet. Consider this. New York Fashion Week is more than just fashion. It's the launchpad for a global billion-dollar calendar stretching from Milan to Paris to Tokyo. Celebrities, influencers, investors, designers, all gathered in Manhattan to define the season's vibe. And now it's been allegedly sabotaged by manufacturers who chose to yank the foundation out from the entire event. If you ask me, this wasn't accidental. This was an assault, a corporate ambush cloaked in production delays. And let's discuss Anna Wintour. This is a woman who built careers with a single glance, who transformed the Met Gala into fashion's Super Bowl, who made Vogue a sacred text. If she's suing, if she's signing legal documents with IMG, that signals she's enraged, and justifiably so.
In 1896, George Vuitton didn't just make that pattern out of thin air. He allegedly took heavy inspo from Japanese designs called Kamon. These crests have been around for ages in Japan, and when they started trending in Europe, George Vuitton said, "Merci beaucoup," and took them. No credit, no shout out, just vibes. So next time you wear an LV bag, just remember where that really came from.
This is the same IMG that manages the event, orchestrates talent, funds the promotion, and keeps NYFW running like a well-oiled machine. And it all just halted. I believe this isn't solely about safeguarding their image. It's about making a stand. Because if something this massive can be toppled so effortlessly, it means the entire industry is built on shaky ground. And it gets worse. The backstage drama makes the lawsuit seem like the surface of a deeper issue. Let's name it sabotage. The cancellation of New York Fashion Week didn't occur due to poor timing or unforeseen delays. No, what's being alleged is far more deliberate. Chinese manufacturers, some of the largest textile giants globally, allegedly stopped production without notice. Not just a delay, we're talking total blackouts. Designers didn't even receive tracking updates, just silence. Do you know what happens when that kind of disruption strikes the industry?
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a Made in France or Made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
Chaos. Utter chaos. I'm talking about entire collections disappearing days before runway shows. PR teams in panic, interns sobbing in corridors, brand reps dodging each other from sheer humiliation. Multiple sources claimed major labels like Michael Kors, Prabal Gurung, even indie darlings like Eckhaus Lada, learned with less than 3 days' notice that their showpieces weren't arriving. That's not just unprofessional, that's calculated destruction. And this wasn't about one or two factories. Rumors suggest the shutdown was orchestrated. Multiple suppliers all backing out simultaneously, like dominoes tumbling. I think that's why Wintour and IMG didn't hesitate. They didn't just send a harsh email. They allegedly went straight for the jugular with lawsuits. Because if this was truly a coordinated effort to plunge the industry into disarray, then someone aimed to send a message. And I think that message was, we're in control now. But Wintour? She doesn't tolerate power grabs lightly.
Most of them are made in China, and most of them are made in our factory. Yeah, I'm telling you. But why these luxury brands never tell you that? Because they are trying to pretend to be products of some sophisticated European countries like Italy or France.
We are going to be successful. In a few weeks, the shop was open. We sell the most expensive products in a country where everybody was going by bicycle.
Or a slowdown and a contraction in the global luxury market. About 50 million people either opted out or were forced out of the luxury market over the past 2 years.
I do feel people started to get tired of purchasing products and realized that we just bought too much. And they didn't really make us happy.
And what she and IMG allegedly did in response? That's when it went nuclear. You want to talk about bold moves? This is it. Word within the industry is that Anna Wintour and IMG are launching a full-scale legal battle against the manufacturers responsible. We're not talking about angry press releases or discreet talks. We're talking lawsuits, real ones with bite. Sources claim they're demanding multi-million-dollar payouts, citing breach of contract, harm to reputation, and even deliberate business disruption. Honestly, I think it's the most aggressive legal action we've seen from fashion royalty in decades. IMG isn't just a logistics partner. They own the Fashion Week brand. They manage the venues, book the models, secure the A-list front rows. And Anna Wintour? She's the Iron Throne of fashion. If these two are signing this lawsuit, it means one thing. The industry isn't just angry, they're declaring war. And here's what makes this even more explosive. Some insiders say this wasn't entirely about lost revenue. It was personal. Allegedly, the timing of the shutdown was so precise, so surgical, it felt like a targeted attack. Some even believe it was meant to humiliate Anna, to rattle IMG, to prove that no matter how powerful you are in the West, you're still reliant on Eastern supply chains. If that's true, this isn't just a lawsuit, it's a message. That message just sparked a new war between fashion's elite and the suppliers who enable their empire. But what drove these manufacturers to take it this far? That leads us to the dark twist. Now we're entering murky waters, because this isn't just about missing shipments or logistical issues. According to insiders, multiple ones, this may have started with secret demands. Manufacturers allegedly issued last-minute ultimatums. Higher prices, tighter deadlines, even demands for exclusivity over entire collections. And when they didn't get their way, they shut down overnight. No warning, no backup. Let me be clear, I think this wasn't just a business dispute. It was a power play. These factories wanted to test their leverage, and NYFW was the perfect battleground. Think about the timing. Days before the first show, with no way to replace missing pieces and global media waiting to pounce. They didn't just halt production, they crippled the entire runway cycle. There's even talk that some labels tried to buy their way out, offering last-minute bonuses or pleading for partial deliveries. But it didn't matter. Once the doors slammed shut, no one got their shipments, not even the heavyweights. That kind of silence isn't incompetence, it's intent. And now that the industry is awake to this reality, everyone's reassessing. If this can happen to IMG and Anna Wintour, who's safe? Who's next? But while the lawsuits rage on, real damage is done. With NYFW canceled, the industry spiraled. We're talking millions in lost revenue. Designers who poured 6 months into collections had nothing to show. Buyers canceled hotel bookings. Sponsors pulled out. Entire teams were laid off. I think people outside fashion don't realize how deep this cut goes. This wasn't just one event. Fashion Week is the heartbeat of seasonal retail. When that heartbeat stops, everyone downstream, from fabric suppliers to showroom managers, flatlines. People lost money, people lost jobs, and the worst part? There's still no official statement explaining what truly went wrong. But what came next shocked even the most jaded insiders. While Wintour and IMG allegedly launched their lawsuit, the fashion community didn't stay quiet. Models posted cryptic stories, designers leaked group chats. One stylist reportedly said, "We were told the clothes are sitting in a container port somewhere, just rotting." Another insider claimed production was deliberately delayed as punishment. I think people are livid, and rightfully so. This wasn't a random tragedy, it was an avoidable crisis. And now, designers who relied on that one runway moment to launch, their careers are left with nothing. NYFW was supposed to be their big break. Instead, it became a ghost town. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Fashion insiders are now having serious talks behind closed doors. Should luxury fashion really depend on one region for production? I think this scandal exposed how fragile the industry truly is. One break in the chain, and the whole operation collapses. Sources say some US and European brands are already withdrawing from certain contracts. Others are exploring local production, despite higher costs. Because now it's not just about saving money, it's about saving the show. And after this fiasco, no one wants to be the next brand to vanish from the calendar. And if you think this was just about logistics, wait until you hear how Wall Street reacted. When news of the NYFW shutdown spread, stock analysts took notice. LVMH reportedly lost billions in market cap within hours of the manufacturing fallout. Going public. Kering and Richemont also took hits. Investors despise unpredictability, and this was the epitome of it. One insider said Wintour made a direct call to an LVMH executive, warning them to brace for a season of turmoil. And when Anna Wintour issues a warning, you listen. I think the ripple effects of this lawsuit could reshape the next decade of luxury. Fashion, not just in how shows are run, but in how brands are built. But here's the twist. This lawsuit might not just be about Fashion Week. Some are whispering that this chaos could work in Wintour's favor. I know that sounds wild, but think about it. If the current global production model collapses, what's next? Centralized control, consolidation. IMG and Condé Nast could gain even more power if they position themselves as the solution to the chaos they're suing over. I think Anna Wintour is too savvy not to see the opportunity here. She's not just fighting back, she's rewriting the rules. And if she wins this lawsuit, she'll not only secure justice, she'll gain control. This wasn't just a missed runway. This was a wake-up call. Fashion's glossy exterior just got torn wide open, and underneath, it's chaos. If Chinese manufacturers really did force the shutdown of New York Fashion Week, and Wintour and IMG are truly going after them in court, this is a once-in-a-generation showdown. I think this is about more than contracts and textiles. It's about power. And whoever wins this lawsuit might just control the future of fashion itself.